for an outsider that may be not familiar with the history of the Detroit music scene, say like you got a classic like 8 Mile. Do you think that was, in any way, a good depiction of what that era was like or what that scene was like?
I think the battles, obviously everything's gonna have a little movie shine on it, right? To make it, palatable for wide audiences, right? But the battles and the things, M went through that, right? He went through being the white kid in the all black place, and he had to prove himself with bars, right? And so that's real, like the proof being there to be at have his back and all that. That's all part of his story. Um, 8 Mile, like that is really just a road in the D that separates Detroit from the suburbs, right? Like on one side of 8 Mile is Detroit, on the other side of 8 Mile is whatever suburban city it is right there, right? Like for us growing up, it's a little different now. Demographics have changed, people have moved, different things have happened inside the city. But as a young kid, Detroit, you in your car, you got the windows down, no seatbelt on, sounds turned up to 400, hat to the side, whoa, whoa, whoa. You just riding up 7 Mile, and it's amazing. Everybody's they see you, and if you got a nice whip, you're having a great day, right? As soon as you cross over 8 Mile, seatbelt on, sound turned down, hat put on straight, everything changes. Because if not, you're going to jail. That's how it was for us, and that was our vision of crossing 8 Mile, right? Because again, Detroit's a very black city. You go across 8 Mile, not so black, right? It's a little different now. Black people spread out. We migrate. So now it's a little different once you cross 8 Mile, and I guess they can't ask, "What are you doing here?" so often anymore. You understand? Because when I was coming up, that question was, "Hey, what you doing here? You don't come across here. What you doing over here?" You know what I'm saying? So, um, but for us, 8 Mile and still to this day, there's a couple pockets where there's homes on 8 Mile, but it's not. It's more businesses and gas stations and things, and they go from one side of the city and it stretch all the way across to the other side of the city, right? So, uh, like that depiction of it is one thing, right? But the pieces of the battles and the struggles and that part is real things that M had to go through. You know what I'm saying? And that was the scene. It was really that battle rap, that intense, that again, a little bit of movie, the underground parking thing and all that. The fights and not your fights didn't happen, but you got to add a little movie flair to it to make it, what I'm saying, make it sellable, right? But
Mm-hmm.
nah, 8 Mile was great just for bringing a gigantic light to the city.
Oh
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
If
definitely.
people can have whatever issue with him, whatever it is, right? But from a city standpoint, you know, he didn't bring the light, he brought the sun. He said, right? Here go the sun right over Detroit. Everybody can see it now, right? Like so, and not that we hadn't made, we do have Motown, we do have, but in present day culture and definitely on the hip hop landscape, he put the
Right.
sun here, right?
Oh,
And then
oh,
and then they realized that we had a ton of strong individuals behind him from the slums and the Dillas and the D12s and now a whole slew of young dudes, you know what I'm saying? From the Babyface Rays and Sada Babies and all these different guys. I'm from a different generation, so I don't, you know what I mean? But I'm a hip hop guy. I pay attention to the sport of it, right? Like so, nah, man. It's Detroit. Again, special place, and like it's hard to kind of quantify it what it is because it has so many accolades, and then we ain't even talking about the car situation and the automotive history to it. You know what I'm saying? Because that plays a real big part in the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, Detroit's dope, and guys like Eminem and Slum and Royce and uh put a lot of light on the city to show the other artists that may not jump out as far, but have been here working from, artists before them, from the A-Walls and Awesome Dre's and, to, again, now the new artists coming up. And even for a Frank and Dank, right? Like, they played a part in that and in the present look of the city. You know what I'm saying? People wouldn't be looking the way they looking if those things didn't happen the way they did.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, man, you just mentioned a giant, Motown. So you know
Mm,
what type of influence that had on the world musically, and especially in hip
mm-hmm.
hop when it comes to samples and remaking music. So you got some of the best, the Smokey Robinsons, the Gordys. I mean, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Them giants, you know,
yeah, exactly.
from the D. So
And we have that history as well. We have, I can drive by, Hitsville whenever I decide. It's right there. You know what I'm saying? And just even throughout the years, uh, uh, you know, you get to see other artists, older artists, still here, still moving around. For the music scene, it's special.
oh yeah, no doubt. Now I want to ask you if you could talk a little bit more about forming Frank and Dank. How did that come about? And
Um, we was all homies and friends, and at the time, uh, everybody was kind of teasing music. Hold on one second. Hey guys, the people in the background. So anyway, so
oh, it's all good. I can edit it out.
oh yeah, okay. So Frank and Dank, we were already homies. We all met in 1986, right? Dilla and Dank had knew each other before that because they went to elementary school, right? I joined in middle school, so uh, when I met the guys, there wasn't. I mean, obviously, my real name is Frank. Dank hadn't acquired the name Dank yet, but he didn't get that because of rap, right? He got that before because at the time he was the only weed smoker in the crew, right? So uh Dank was Dank before there was a Frank and Dank, right? His actual name was President Dankworth. That was the full name, right? So it was actually T3 by 10 and J Dilla, Slum Village, said, hey, because I was in the studio with Dilla a lot. Like I would just be over there because that was the homeboy. So and we would spar. He would, hey Frank, I'm gonna make this beat in 20 minutes, and then we got 30 minutes to write raps to the beat and record it. Whatever you write, if it's 2 bars or 20 bars, you got to record it. So we would spar and practice, and that's how he helped me sharpen my rap skills, right? And and Dank again wasn't in the studio with us as much. Dank was more of a Detroiter than he was the hip hop guy in the sense that he was out on the hustle. He was gone, right? He was grinding, getting money, going to the parties, having that thing. But Dank he's on the grind. So when he got out of that, he'd come to the studio and he was rhyming a little bit here and there and working on different things and just not really focused on it. But the crew loved his voice. They loved the way Dank sounded, right? And it was T3 and Dylan. Hey man, Frank and Dank should be a group. And that's how it started. And we said, for real, okay, let's try it out. And we, started tinkering to see how we could figure it out. And long story short, 25 years later or something like that, we still a group. You feel what I'm saying? So it really started with just homeboys. And the homeboys thinking that it would be dope for the homeboys to be a group. And we ran with it. And then, we were blessed to have a Dilla and a Slum Village as the homeboys, as the guys we would be able to create with and come up and learn how to be artists. You get what I'm saying? So we got blessed with that. And again, here we are,